and the assistant manager have been picking red. It is not their business. Now I am wondering, do I keep quiet like everyone else, or do I speak up? That is Grace's story. She's listening and she would love to hear from us. Remember that Grace is listening, and so please do well to share your thoughts without condemning, judging, or using abusive languages. The number to call to give Grace your advice this evening is 07000 917 917. She's asking, this thing that they're doing in my place of work, they have a free boss at our place of work, and now the driver and the assistant manager, they've been picking people that are not staff. The boss is strictly for staff members alone, right? Hello, good evening.
No, hello, good evening. Hello,
Good evening. Good evening, Anthony. How are you today?
okay.
Yeah, welcome. Good evening. Grace.
After I get a did I thought that you quiet, not the talk.
Mm. Mm.
Don't call that manager.
Okay.
You know, to say this one, let them they do. You don't do it.
Mm.
You can't get money.
Yeah.
Oh, one talking about it, they don't want to put the money.
Mm.
That was the passenger at the fight. Passenger at the fight, one of the staff collected the motor.
Mm.
So they staff get on my head because wahala.
Mm.
All of that staff for those shut up.
Yes.
But I have to be careful very well. You tell the matter. I have authority. That's my advice for you this night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you so much for calling to give your advice to Grace. Just like Anthony says, talk to the assistant manager, but be careful when you're talking to her, just so that you don't get implicated along the line or something like that. So talk to her about what you feel they're doing and how you feel about it, and let's see how that goes from there. Grace is a 25-year-old lady. She's a social media manager at the company where she works, and she says that her company recently introduced a staff bus, a free staff bus for those living on the mainland, to reduce the cost of transportation since fuel prices, have increased and all of that. And she says that recently she noticed that the assistant manager and the bus driver, they've been picking up random strangers at the bus stop, and they've been charging them, collecting money from them. As we speak, they've made about 100,000 naira this month. I think she wanted to say last month because this month just started. They've made about 100,000 naira already, even though other staff, they know about it, but nobody's saying anything. Everybody's saying, I beg, it's not my business. I beg, put your front. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is from
You're welcome. Please reduce the volume of your radio.
Yeah, I do that. I do that now.
Thank you.
You don't need to talk about that. You don't need it. Yes. Because if there's no space in the bus, how can you get a pick? Right? It's both your staff. There's no need to think it's going to be the best. We can cook. We have started in the cook too. So if you want to calm down and watch our things, I tell you, let me mistake it and have trouble. The Bible says, whatever to be done, keep the trouble. Start observing. If the world fill up with staff, I'm not sure that God will come down and pick a stranger.
Yeah.
That's one. Yeah, thank you. That's one. So again, show how to report to anyone. They will set them up at the end of the day, God bless. You know, if I look at whom I might shut down off. Let that come down and mention everything. If possibly God will expose himself by himself, not need to speak or not have to speak. Thank you. My contribution.
Thank you so
make
much.
sense. God bless
Thank you, of course. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your advice, Kingsley, this evening. That was very profound as well. Thank you so much for sharing. The number to call to still give. Okay. Hello, good evening.
I'm going to call back. I have something to say again.
Okay.
You know, That thing let you about the somebody that they do now very risky. What are the dogs that may go let them one chance. All of their life
Yes.
they know who the party of data themselves, they do risky. It's not like they are clear and then they go back, but even though the boss not they're not supposed to give back to capital for business. What do you mean? I don't forget the name.
Grace.
But if you don't want to talk, just stay away for the boss. They can carry them in. Now they are city will come you. Stay away for the boss. You don't want to think, you want to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you for calling back to give your advice once again to Grace. Grace sent a message to what Kingsley mentioned. She said they tell us to shift for the passengers to sit when there is no space. We all don't live in the same place, so they people before. So that was our response to what he mentioned when he says that if the bus is full, they won't be able to pick other people as well. So that was the feedback that she gave. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, possible. Well, the point is true. The truth is a good organization. You have to be careful with the assistant with them because talking out will implicate them.
Mm-hmm.
But talking out will do the best thing to save herself and the organization and every other staff.
Yes.
But now, is she the only one there? If other ones are not talking, I think she should just mind her business or to avoid the boss if she can.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So if she talks, she will do well. But there will be problem between she, the driver and
And the manager.
and the manager, and that is another war entirely. Why not avoid war? Yes. And then a war entirely that I don't know what will come out from that.
Yeah.
So, but if you wish to put passenger on the road, actually, the truth is. So if she now wants to do it, if she, I don't know how she, because me, I'm a prayerful person. I don't know how to can pray about it and talk to the manager driver that this that they are doing is not good. So she understand that they need money. But the danger behind it is what they look at.
Yeah.
The danger behind it. One day they might go and put a or something. So the danger behind it is what in their eyes to see. Not because of that. Not in that they have to put down.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't do that, she should just keep quiet.
Okay.
And she should leave that for God. God knows how to handle it. For her, I'm saying this is for her to avoid unnecessary war. Maybe this war now, if she exposes can be on anything. You understand? And if she expose them, she do well. Actually, you have to protect your organization. But the danger to avoid the war, whichever way. She alone know how strong she is if she can fight. So that is just I think she listening.
Yes, she is.
So prayerfully guide yourself. Nothing will happen to you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
No matter how. Whether you enter the doors or not. God will with you.
Amen.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sunday. Good night. Thank you so much for calling to give your advice to Grace this evening. Just like Sunday has said, if you cannot, yes, there are lots of things involved. Actually, he mentioned that you can avoid the bus. You can avoid taking the bus if you're not comfortable with your own transport to work. Just like Anthony also mentioned, and he also mentioned that if you eventually get to expose them, you might not be able to handle the propulsion or things that might happen to them. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Anayo. How are you today?
Are you too?
I'm fine.
Okay. Just quick, this is like good. Is appointment letter. What was your job description? Does it include acting like a security for the company? If not, then why do you want to risk your life? That is one thing. Taking people on the road, they know that one or two people might, one way or the other, even if it's text message,
Yeah.
send it to the authority of the company,
Mm.
but they are still taking it. What is that suggesting to you?
Mm.
What it means is that there are also people inside the company, the organ, that is part of that team.
Yes.
So, like when you see some the police on the road, I think they have enough carcass part of those things. So, so, so you know, just enter the bus. Make sure nobody makes you uncomfortable when you take it for passenger. Although this seat is for two people. I'm already in it present. So why do you want me to sit? So don't your life. Nigeria today is a country that you can't get justice.
Yes.
I remember telling my younger ones this last semester, please, don't go to not like if you are the you are not like if you are the you are not employers the history for the company. So why do you want to risk your life? So let them do what they want to do. As a prospect, like somebody said, if somebody inside the company, inside that your guy is not part of it, they will be exposed to conflict. Please don't live your life. This life is very good. Carry anybody like will not pay anything. Don't just try. Just leave them. And the ball. Don't leave God will expect them.
Yeah.
I want to tell you if there are inner carcass, more that involved, then
Mm. Okay.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Anayo. Thank you so much for calling to give your advice this evening to Grace. Just like he has said, and every other person as well, it's risky for you to go and report this because you don't know the number of people involved in all of this as well. So it's best you keep to yourself. If you're comfortable taking the bus, take it. If you're not comfortable, go by other means. You are not employed to be a spy. Hello, good evening.
I call my calendar.
Okay, you're welcome
Yeah,
back to me.
yeah. I mentioned that late last year December.
Mm.
So, Sarah, the point is this: um, my manager did some deal last year, late last year,
Mm.
and the boss is not. They know that I'm very close to the boss.
Mm.
So now, in I can say that this is carrying this and this equipment out, that in case when the boss come back because he traveled, uh, I should tell him that he took it to so and so place, which he knows that I will be there. So they want to go and use that equipment in my own church where we are.
Yes.
But that was not, that was life anyway. And I said, it's okay, it's no problem. Like I always say, this life living, you have to live in a diplomacy,
Mm.
uh, uh, we live diplomatically.
Mm.
So I think it's okay. The point is, my own, I didn't see it. So you already told me. If boss asked me to, I was thinking what I'm going to say. I'll still say what he says. But God that will vindicate me. You understand?
Yes.
Because God will only deliver his own. So boss did not ask me anything.
Mm.
And boss came that same day.
Mm.
That same day. So now, he called me that same day. To cut the long story short, the deal they did, the thing did not go. So, and they are collected some millions. So the very people now went and reported to the police
Mm.
arrest. What you say what they
Mm.
tell me? The boss said asked me and I like. So I'm not part of the deal.
Yes.
They took me back. So God has his own way for his own children. So to everything was open. So this is the careful. So it's none of your business.
Mhm.
Thank
Mm.
you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah. So
Sunday. Thank
we
you
will
so
see when
much.
you come back here. You're welcome. Thank
Mm. All right. Thank you so much, Sunday, for calling back to give your advice once again. to Grace. Grace, you've heard what every single person has said. I think it's best that you step aside from the drama. I don't think you'll be able to handle it when it eventually unfolds. That's Grace's story. She'd still love to hear from us. She'd still love to hear what we have to say. This is Women Radio 91.7. You're listening to Adults Conversations.
Your head on my shoulder.
It's got to give you a bam. How to do a see a friend talking to the other is out. I will be taking Kabaya. Double kiss every Obaga. You know the dish carpet and Obas. When you get what you got of you got. You got right. It's about the age of your mom. La police alone and Stop.
Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá, kò síwá tó léwu, kò sọ́nà lánàá ó. Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá, kò síwá tó léwu, kò sọ́nà tó lè mọ̀. Lọ́jọ́ tá bá bímọ títún. Lónílé ìtàlejò ló máa kí ni kú ewu. Lọ́jọ́ tá bá bímọ títún sílé ayé. tónílé tàlejò ló máa kí ni kú ewu. ọ̀tá ọmọdé bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí ìrákòrò kádàní ló ń jẹnu ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀tá níní kádàní ló minú ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀tá níní ó ti bọ́ sọ́wọ́ ayé. tọmọ náà bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rìn tó bá lẹ́gbẹ́ tí wọ́n jọ ń ṣeré láàrin àdúgbò tí òbí ẹ̀ bá lè ra kẹ̀kẹ́ fún ó ti bọ́ sọ́wọ́ ayé. tó bá ní kó gbé wá wọ́n jọ fi ṣeré tó bá ní rárá ó ti dọ̀tá wọn ó ti bọ́ sọ́wọ́ ayé. wọ́n ní máa gbé kẹ̀kẹ́ lọ a ò bá ẹ ṣeré mọ́. tọ́jọ́ bá gorí ọjọ́ tọmọ náà bá dàgbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní relé ìwé tó fojú sí ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀ yóò ṣe déédéé. tí wọ́n bá ṣe dánwò tó bá ṣe pò kíní ó ti dọ̀tá ó ní pò kẹfà wọ́n fún lórúkọ wọ́n lọ́mọ tíṣà ni. àṣẹ̀yìnwá àṣẹ̀yìnbọ̀ ọmọ ọjọ́ sí bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ọ̀gá ilé bí iṣẹ́ lágogo mẹ́jọ ó ń ṣe déédéé ó ń débi iṣẹ́ lákòókò ìyípa bí iṣẹ́ jẹ́. àwọn ọ̀lẹ afàjò wọ́n á fún lórúkọ wọ́n lọ́mọ mọ́ níjà ni ó ti bá sáwọ́ ayé.
good evening. You're welcome back. This is Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. And you're still listening to Adult Conversations. Today, we're giving advice to a lady called Grace. Grace is a 25-year-old lady. She says she's the social media manager at the company where living on the mainland so that it's easier for them to get to work and reduce the cost of transportation. Now, recently she noticed that the bus driver and the assistant manager, they've been carrying people, they've been stopping at bus stops to carry random passengers that are not staffs of the organization. And they collect money from them. And she said, as of last month, they've made about 100,000 naira already from, the transport going for and everything. And she says, even though other staff members, the good thing is because they're all in the bus together, they can see what's happening, but nobody is talking. And when she talks to them, the other staff members about it, they all said, it's not our business. What's my concern? Just take it to work. What's my business is whether or not we pick passengers. And he's wondering, should I keep quiet like everyone else, or should I speak up? She's not comfortable with the idea that something like that is going on and nobody is saying anything about it, and they're just letting it slide. The number to call to give Grace your advice. Grace is listening to the show right now. She'd love to hear from you. She'd love to hear your thoughts and your contribution. The number is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Okay. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is
Good evening. How are you today?
fine. So much, Sherry.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
What I want to let Grace know is this. If our motive
Mm.
is for security purpose,
Yes.
it's different from if our motive is because they are making money.
Okay.
So if there is because her eyes is there because they are making money in it, it's a different case.
Okay.
Therefore, if I were her, your source of your income or additional income to your salary will come.
Yes.
Because when you expose them, even the people you want to report them to,
They are part of
whether
it.
they are the one that sent them. So, if your motive is, we call it business, making money. Please, if you are a seat, get your comfortable seat. Remove your eyes. They cannot even force you. You too, you will not occupy 2 seats. Let us behave like a baby and let go.
Yes.
So that you will not implicate yourself, implicate others. If both are full with staff, they will not pick the other passenger. When you look at another side of it, when the bus stop is filled up with passengers, others are struggling to see bus to their destination, and they see such a bus. It's also they are also helping, apart from money. So we consider ourselves, consider others. Please, you are hearing me.
Yes.
Take it easy. If the contact meeting, everybody are contributing, giving advice one thing and putting light, so you can speak, not reporting. That's right. So that's what I have to say. So remove your mind. Remove your mind, because the way I'm looking at it, the motive is that money they are making. So the additional money.
Okay.
So remove it. They are helping the passengers as well. At the same time, those that are protecting you, whether they pick or not, they will not pick the arm rubber or what they call it. Protect you and the dog. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Mary Mansella, for calling this evening to give your advice to Grace. She says, what is your motive for wanting to expose them, Grace? Why do you think it's necessary for you to let the company know what is going on, or why, what's your motive for wanting to expose them. I want you to think about that for a moment. There can be a lot of reasons. For you, it might be that you genuinely just do not like the way they are picking other people, because that's not what the company sends them to do. It can also be that you're not happy with the way they're inconveniencing your space to bring in other passing boss. It can also be that you don't like the fact that nobody's talking about it, and they're just doing it and making money from it, and not even remitting the money to the organization. It can be any reason at all. But for whatever reason it might be, she mentioned that you leave them alone. Let them continue to do whatever it is they're doing. She mentioned some positive sides of picking other people as well. If you can look at that, if you think that sits well with you, then you can just leave them alone and let it be. Just like she says, and Anthony also, and I also mentioned before, you never can tell who is also in partnership with them. You don't know if the senior bosses are also involved in what they're doing. It's just so you don't implicate yourself and put yourself at risk, it's better you keep quiet about it. The number to call to still give Grace your advice is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also call 09155 917 917. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, we change.
Good evening, Deacon Sawal. How are you today? Same to you, Mr.
How you doing?
I'm fine, we thank God.
I did tell everybody in the I have been for that day and every other place.
Yes.
We didn't do many more characters in Jesus.
Amen.
My only little contribution for
Grace.
and the grace of God shall abide with you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So my only little contribution is that we just found the way of things of looking at what is going on. Number one, inside among the people that demand inside the start box, not only you that are in the box, there are many people that are in the box of which they know what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say anything. So, don't know how to put back at the time. Let the mistake come mutually. Not for you exposing them. Let it come mutually for other person. Because I'm telling you this today. If you went and report and they stop them, it's not going to be boasting that yes, it's what they did that made them stop them.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will not be activity. Unless you are heartless. They are doing it to see if they are harming you or they are harming the company. Let secret comes out from another aspect. Not that you are doing them. So you understand what I'm trying to say now?
Yes.
Because I can't make a step. I went to go and expose them and they start them. So I'm not going to be saying that it's not that I want to go and report them in the office. That's why they start them. It's good that they start them. No. And they're not the only people doing all these things. In Nigeria, even the IT person, everywhere. Let me tell you this, it's not only the company, even ministry companies, all this policy. That's what they are doing. By the time they drop you in the evening, they have to carry passengers to their house. So they take this person to their house to supplement themselves. So I think as the thing is going on, it's just things that they are still using. People want to expose them, that they are doing not that thing. We don't expose them, not say I'm going to expose them, no one that's supposed to expose them. One day, if God wants to expose them, we'll expose them. Because you cannot, in fact, I don't know what to tell you, and I know what to tell you. And what I want to tell you is that just as every other person is looking at them, just be looking at them.
Yes.
Once they do not occupy your seat, I am not saying there's no vacancy for you to sit. So understand. When I get to the town to the spot and say, madam, there's no more seat for you. No. Let me not shock you. The Fed is using the carbon to get the passenger.
Yes.
Number one, the driver to take the money to their house. They take the carbon to the house. Because if you are not in the office, even private ones, they will carry, if you drive the madam or the guy, they will take cab to carry passenger. And the situation of Nigeria that comes to everything. They don't just take us out. Taking their salary, but their salary is not worth of what they can contain them. What to find after they are carrying jobs, carrying this, telling the money, carrying passenger to the office. Now they're happening as it. You understand?
Yes.
So what I'm trying to tell you is don't let it come from you. If anything wants to happen to them, let your conscience be cleared. Because as I'm telling you now, I'm sure that if you oppose them, your conscience will not be cleared.
Yes.
You will not be in a situation like that. It's not because I want to go and see them now. But they start doing. How will you feel? And the family man. It's Nigerian people that turn everybody upside down. It's just like US station. Nothing else. It's Nigerian station.
Yes.
Please. Just apply with any other person. Just be looking at them. So one day, God wants to expose them. But don't let it be from you.
Yes.
God be with you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for calling Deaconess Laurel to share your advice and your thoughts for Grace this evening. Just like she has said, if anybody is going to expose them, if anybody is going to let the organization know what they're doing, let it not come from you. Because if they eventually get fired, you might not like it. Of course, you will not be excited that they are fired, right? So you need to tread carefully as regards the situation. Hello, good evening. Good evening, David. How are you today? I'm fine.
I'm very fine. I'm not very happy this night. I'm not very happy. This is the first line. I will be apart from almost, I don't know, except somebody follows this line. The other person that are putting this line. Does that mean that there's no hope for this country? This is really true. And okay, if anybody is at the car owner and I charge somebody on the road, I will not charge him money, and if I charge him money, it's my car. So that is understandable. You understand? Because I'm a car owner, it's a private car. I'm going to my company or to the place I work, and I carry somebody on the road and I charge them for money like a commercial charge, just like passenger vehicles. I am using that for revenue. That is okay. And if I decide that I take them free of charge, that's okay. Whichever way I go, because it's my car, I have authority and influence over that. But when you are using company property to carry people on the road, and I have access to that information, I will look it out, and I will tell you, I will do it. When probity, integrity, accountability, honesty, simplicity, integrity, in all these things that we talk about. I think it's the reason why this nation is the way it is now. I'm going to say that you can leak this thing out. Okay. Except the whole company is compromised. And if it is compromised, you have no future there too. The reason I'm saying this is because you are on a managerial level. You are going to your story. She is the section of the company, which is what they call the social media manager. You are even a media person. So it's information, and you need to leak this information to them. Now, that is not your plan there. You have your line of duty and your duty, routine, and find your job description. This is not part of it. Everybody from the to controlling a company everybody should be on guard for the progress of that company. And if some people are extorting the company through that means, even the idea that in the weekend the vehicle driver at home and he uses his money, you don't know about that. The company is aware that they let that in their custody and they are whatever it is, they get their own reward. And let us understand that whatever you sow into other people's lives and in investment, that's what you are going to reap later when you become an employer. Give me 2 instances before I round up.
Okay.
I still worship in the present church where I worship. I joined that church 2004. But I used to go, I didn't do that again. I used to go with the coaster bus. So one day my wife and myself and our daughter were in the vehicle.
Yes.
And I continually see that the driver that is paid heavily, put them across different routes to keep people to church and get them back. And they've been working with the church for more than 20 years. People on he's not patient with people, he will be rude and do that. And consistently, I happen to be the only person in the church also correcting and say, Mr. So and so, why do you do like this? We bring newcomers to church, and by your attitude, you are belittling the church. You are sending wrong signals. The man did not change. I went to the headquarters and went to meet the pastor's secretary. Because I know the pastor, I know his kind of person, I know the DNA of that church. I just don't want to mention the church name on air, and if I mention it, it will be publicity, cheap publicity. But it's a church that is do you understand me now? But you understand me? Millions of people, this Monday they are paying all these drivers, and this man is perhaps the oldest of the drivers. Headquarters people got to know. It took me about 3 different weeks. I would leave work in hours trying to see the pastor. When I couldn't see the pastor because he was traveling and coming, I dropped the message with the secretary to the pastor. The pastor personally summoned him. So one day when the board, after the church had made adjustment and warned him, and they said, we went to the church and tell, because they are always playing with the man, they are always making things. We went to report Mr. So and so in the church. I stood up. Do you know the people calling between the church bus?
Of course.
Today, that man is still in the church driving for us. The pastor put him through, corrected everything, and then all of them were ashamed. They just recently got a property that is worth more than 500 million for the locality in Lagos, where they are supposed to worship. That branch of the church just got a property. It was incidental to getting it. So people got to know that I'm a non-nonsense person. Yes. Maybe I have to call back, immediately after I told it.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, that was David giving his advice to Grace this evening. I'll be right back to take some more advice for Grace. This is Women Radio 91.7. You're listening to Adult Conversations.
The voice of women, 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 voice of women. 7 WFM 91.7.
It's 9 o'clock, and here is the news at 9 on Women Radio 91.7. Women in Nigeria are set to gain increased access to top leadership roles in the banking sector as industry leaders and policymakers in Nigeria's financial sector calls for 40% female leadership target to promote equity and expand opportunities at an event in Lagos on Tuesday, 7th April 2026. Stakeholders in Abuja on Monday, 6th April 2026 announced expanded initiatives to improve women's access to financial services, credit, and economic opportunities aimed at strengthening their roles in financial decision making. Authorities have renewed calls for stronger protection for women and vulnerable groups following the killing of 26 people, including women and girls, in attacks across Kaduna, Borno, and Benue states over the Easter weekend. Today, Nigeria's naira exchanges as 1,379 naira to a dollar, 1,587 naira to a euro, and 1,842 naira to a pound. Policymakers in Malaysia are advocating increased support for women's economic leadership through improved access to finance, skills development, and digital tools to boost national growth. Nigeria's Chiamaka Nnadozie delivered a standout performance and defeated Arsenal in the Women's FA Cup, inspiring young women to pursue careers in football. Women Radio 91.7 urged the National Assembly to pass the Special Seats Bill HB 1349 to increase women representation in the national and state houses of assembly. Today marks 11 years and 358 days since our Chibok girls were captured, and 8 years and 47 days since the abduction of Leah Sharibu, the Dapchi girl. Women Radio 91.7 calls for the safe release of all our girls still in captivity. Women Radio 91.7 demands justice from the government for victims and survivors of sexual abuse and rape. If you have been sexually abused, please contact the Sexual Assault Repair Center near you. My name is Nifuluwa Kiremi. Good evening. Thanks for listening.
Nigeria's first female-centric radio station for women and family. WFM 91.7.
You know they shame. Plenty husband is too much. Plenty drivers without labor. If you must go, nobody cares. If you marry taxi driver, I don't care. If you marry lorry driver, I don't care. If you marry railway driver, I don't care. If you marry motor driver, I don't care. See, you know they shame. Plenty
Radio 91.7, amplifying women's voices every hour, every day.
àmọ́ mo ti ṣèbàrè Èdùmàrè ọba tó láyé. mo ti ṣèbà gbogbo àgbà tí ń bẹ níwájú mi ò dédé ọmọ mo ṣèbàrà wọn rìyá mi ọ̀pá kérò làkè akérò.
Good evening and welcome back. This is Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's
Nigeria
only radio station
for women and their families, and it's 10 minutes past 9 o'clock right here in the studio. You're listening to Adult Conversations, and we're still giving advice to a lady called Grace. For the sake of those who are just joining us, I'll go over the story one more time. The story says, my name is Grace. I am 25 years old, and I am the social media manager at the company that I work. All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, yeah, I'm back.
Okay, you're welcome back, David.
Thing is that also life, and it is lack of due diligence in a workplace if I'm not 110% loyal to a place where I earn income.
Yes.
God will ask me. Nature will ask me. And that is why it's good to be like that. Now, let me say, this is the reason why the whole nation is in this mess, in our economic mess. All the people that go to church, that go to mosque, they are the people that are in leadership positions all across our social, secular, and spiritual structures in this country. You can see the mess of the black nation in the world is in now. 250 million people, and we are in the poverty, called the poverty capital of the world. For a nation once referred to as the giant of Africa. Because of issue, corruption. And you will see church people the way they will dodge it. Are you getting me? And they will look for a way around it. So let me just mention the church where I fought friends as a young.
Oh, we lost the call from David. I think the network cut him off for a moment. Please do also call us back to share your thoughts again for Grace. The story says, my name is Grace. I am 25 and I am the social media manager at the company I work. My company introduced a free staff bus for those living on the mainland to reduce the cost of transportation. Recently, I noticed the bus driver and the assistant manager have been picking people randomly with the bus at different bus stops, and they've made 100,000 naira. Should I speak up or keep quiet? Hello, good evening.
Well, good evening.
Good evening, Sunday. You're welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much. To add, from what David is saying, that like I said, what is good.
Yes.
That is the best way
Mhm.
to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you must be 100% with where you are working. And I want with my father-in-law was once like he brought the issue of church now. In a church. So our administrative pastor, it was years back. Understand? Yeah, but there. So now our administrative pastor I mean very intelligent, has everything anointed, had the word, but his character with his members is zero. So members don't like him. But when it comes to the people to preach and try, he's awesome. So he has his own class of people to. You don't grow church that way.
Yeah.
You understand? You need to be here now. I live with the bishop. My sister, the bishop, my father-in-law. So church members come and meet me. So they want a change. To cut the long story short, I make sure they bring another pastor. You understand?
Yes.
So they bring another pastor who is now superior over him. You know that it was serious war. Even today, I know that the war is still on, even though we still relate. There are some things you just avoid it. But the best way is to report because I reported the matter and I went to the north and like told the bishop that we want this person to come and I did that for the people. So the people are not there when we are here as internal war, open war, physically and every spiritual, everything. So that's why I think if you are not strong, avoid it. So I can stand it. So I can stand it and I face it. So it's not everybody that is strong. It can even result into the death of another person. So that's the danger. So be careful. If they attack you physically, they will attack you spiritually. But the best way is to report, but avoid it.
Yes.
So,
thank you, Sunday. Thank you so much for calling back. All right. Just like Sunday says, if you're not strong enough, if you don't think you're strong enough to withstand it, it's better you avoid it. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
yeah, good evening. I'm on to the line of the program. I'm calling from our program, Comrade Anaki.
You're welcome, Comrade Alade.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, if I were to be in those shoes, the best thing is to get the matter known to the management.
Yeah.
Because as we're looking to Radio FM, to say, report how corruption has affected you in your area. Whether it's corruption. And what is corruption? Disobeying the law.
Yes.
They are employed to carry staffs, to pick passengers. So that means they are corrupt. People say don't say if you affect you, don't say because you will be affected. Man, say something, you will see something. If I'm saying something, you will see something. I don't think Nigeria to be this situation we have today. So this unfair attitude, how we are not end, is picking up the fabric of Nigeria system.
Yes.
The driver is employed, he's been paid. So we out of your employment agreement or work description to start picking passengers and collecting money. That is corruption. If I to be in her shoes, definitely I will report. Let whatever will be. It's better I stand on my integrity and what is right than to die as a coward. That's it. So that is my opinion for her. She her report.
Okay.
If they want to sack her, let her sack her. Let it be that she's standing on what is right. And let her integrity speak for her at any time. If Nigeria could be speaking up on what is wrong and we don't stand on our ground, let it be. whatever consequences, let it damn the consequences and stand on what is truth and stand on their integrity. I think if everyone should be doing what is right in this country, corruption will be reduced 100%. But we are about to keep on showing about their attitude because I had a tendency to say them and people are doing it. People are smiling and saying, keep quiet. In a civilized society, when you are employed as a driver or whatever you are employed to work at, when you go contract against that job description or your responsibility, it's corruption and definitely will be fired. So in Nigeria, the driver is making money as too small. If they don't think too small, quit the job. Don't risk the life of the path you are picking up. What if what if picking a kidnapper or an armed robber that you harm people to start your carrying home or you are bringing to the office? What will you say to the management then? So it's better you speak up and say something than to die as a coward and not speaking anything and not saying anything.
Yes.
I'm a man of integrity. I don't tell myself, the two blocks to be found. The two blocks to. I always see, when they say Nigeria is so corrupt, not everybody is so corrupt. I thank myself that I'm not. I always stand on what is right, what is true. And my integrity speaks for me everywhere I go. And there are people know me for that. People that know me, they know me. So when I speak up, because right from the if everybody is speaking what is right and give it right, I mean, the corruption level in the people, our country will reduce drastically. And when we do
yes.
So I advise Grace, speak up to the management. Let the consequence be, let it be. Let your integrity speak for you. Let it be that you are speaking up the system. Whenever the bad guys, people passengers and getting work. It's corruption.
Yes.
So they stay. You don't pump corruption. Let us speak up and repair them.
Okay.
That's the mistake, in my opinion. Thank you.
So much, comrade. Thank you for calling. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Sunday.
Comrade
Alad.
You're not on place. If I is so very worried, the money that's everything because I just be moving around. I think club, to enjoy myself. When I hear something about corruption, this and that, it makes me say, but what do you stop stepping out?
Yes.
Look, a lot of people want to know. That's why I come up from 7 up in 2000. And that's why you see me relate everything. I can use some of the story because that's my problem.
Okay, so her name is Grace. She's a transfer here. She says the company gave them a free bus for staff to bring them to work and take them back home. Now, the bus driver and the assistant manager have been using that bus to pick random passengers and they're collecting money from the passengers. And they've made about 100,000 naira already from doing that. Now, she told other people in the bus, other staff members, and nobody wants to report. Everybody is saying it's not my business, or she should just keep quiet like every other person.
Thank you so much. No, let me tell you something. My sister, like the way you have collected it, Aladi. You did not hear from you. You know people, they are smart in Nigeria because now they are calling the father that doing party.
Yeah.
They record everything. You video call it, get your facts ready, and then management and they go and tell them straight. The way Nigeria is going, so woman business, so they are doing something great to come on salary, make you happy. Some just come out. What is it? No. I always say this already the program. We want the one that me and you. My dad always telling me something. Only to get that If I say that, people should enter my house. I want to go to my bank, to pass it to my bank, to my bank. In my house, and every much of family motion better. And I told my boy, don't ever cry when I cry. If you cry, you can support or wait to the he said it, and the parents have said it. That's why the kids are moving to this thing. Hey, come and share it. One of your body go to, I don't know. And I cannot tell you something. Because I collect best award in 7 up, and they said I should go. I forgot to draw something. But leave the management. About my experience. From Gabi, you know Abuja. I come up from Gabi, that's why I'm running. You just carry me. When I reach back, I woke up and I narrate all the story. This is final. But everything, you know, when you are doing things, everything, the greatest thing I'm doing for that, we can talk. If there was one thing I hand out, this was I said, okay, you are right too. But but when they are checking all these stuff, I see. The man can write to me. That's what I just said. My recording. And then, you know, we are working, you know, we keep recording up, they fingerprint everything. You know, that's why it's good to work in the civic organization. We have secured everything, you test everything. And even I left it, we just friends record it on that line. If you follow me to work, you know, we change everything. I get my fingerprint, because everything. You know, get everything, I put everything that's perfect. You know, that's why I go. Something is fishing. They call the guy. After the investigation do everything, they see that I don't know anything about it. They are breaking me with my brain. And the people are using God to get and get me. When you're not so because they want to do something fast. And they got the power to start them and they report them. But they are using to say, let me try to do where maybe I made a mistake. Any day, you use God to plug me in the shape where you're not seeking. I want God to talk to me. If I don't speak you today, another person will help you. I don't care you. You see where we are trying ourselves. When you are not transparency, what are you talking about? The job program everybody. Everything they believe. I did wrong. We take what we are talking about. Go follow me. I mentioned the name of your company. If it's about to go about 25 million, 10 million, oh my God, say, what a ship of money. What ship of money? What is it? What is it? What is Chetan?
Yes.
No, it's slow. Any time, no matter what money, you must get your fast ready because you know when you have you get your fast and they can do everything.
Yes.
Because it's time you carry along. When the one last started to deny you, that's the fast and they say, no mention. You know what? Everybody have fast. And when they have fast, you call all of them, all the CM say that the guy is saying the right thing. That's why they sack all of them. But if we say, enough for corruption, enough for killing, enough for everything in Nigeria. One thing, one thing. Green handkerchief that says to give it to like that. And then So finally, my last call, I've already said something. Let me tell you, you are the corruption star. If people don't know today, I'm shouting. It's time for, and then a lot of people inside the church, inside the mosque, I'm teaching about in the church. People who think that some people in church, please go in church. And friends for church, we go in church and more. And they are royal people too. And they're intelligent people. Let me tell my mouth short. This man get here, this thing will start you. For anybody that's doing small business in Nigeria, could just work out that they want to talk about maybe coming full job. We all the branch.
Yes.
Thank God for my organization. Deal with them. To definitely ready to deal with you. You already got to tell me nothing from you anymore. Yeah, my family. I'm not saying that there's no God. I don't take nonsense. So what am I going to me? I've made money in my business. I pay a lot of little color between all these things to support them here. I'm afraid I should go. I don't think in Nigeria, I lying. I told you, just find me. Not to two part of the organization. They should buy this issue for the generator to make Nigeria happy. They'll be eating money, we spend nothing else. It's making Nigeria with shepherd will carry. Voting for them to pass on 27. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tunde. All right. Thank you so much for calling to give your advice to Grace. He has said a lot of things. Buttress, Comrade Alade, and Sunday with David's points about you being bold and stepping forward to fight for what is right, despite the fact that the other people in your organization do not want to be a part of it. It's from the integrity of your part to let them know what is going on. Whether or not the organization themselves or the higher authorities are aware of what is going on, which might indicate eventually that or whatever, you're sure that you've played your part, you've spoken the truth, and the truth will set you free at the end of the day. The number to call to give Grace your advice is 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. This is Women Radio 7. You're listening to Adult Conversations.
Women Radio 91.7, the Ogbonge radio station for women and their families.
A nation, many tribes. We will stand together, live together, hold together. United we stand, united we thrive. This message is brought to you by Women Radio WFM 91.7.
HB 1349. Now, House Bill number 1349. HB 1349. They talk say make them reserve special seat for women for Senate, House of Representatives, and state assemblies. If them pass HB 1349, it will make our democracy strong. Well. You support HB 1349. Talk to your senator, your House of Reps member, and your state assembly people. Beg them. Vote for HB 1349 to better Nigeria. If you love this our country, support HB 1349. Share this message with Women Radio WFM 91.7. Don't bring from your side.
Shin ko kun san kuma memba na gidan rediyon mata wato Women Radio wata dama ce da za ta haɗa ku mata da wasu ɗaiɗaikun 'yan uwa mata da suka ƙware suka kuma goge wurin sabon kasuwanci, sayar da siyarwa, noma, kula da gida, sha'anin karatu da ƙwararrun ma'aikata daga dukkanin jihohi 36 da ke faɗin ƙasar nan domin samun horaswa da kuma 'yar uwa a matsayinki na memba ta wannan gidan rediyo za ki mori damar tallata hajar kyauta da kuma samun kwasar garaɓasar gasa iri-iri. Muna ku garzaya ku nemo ku kuma sauke Women Radio app a wayoyin sadarwar ku domin sauraron shirye-shirye da aka tanada a domin ku. Ku yi rajista kyauta akan manhajar wannan rediyon akan wfm917.com tare da tabbatar da cewa kun bibiye shafin Women Radio na Facebook. Women Radio na tare da haɗin gwiwar ma'aikatu irin na MacArthur Foundation da kuma Nigeria Media Innovation Program. Na me Power, passion, purpose. Welcome to Queens of the Mic. Hashtag POTN, posted by the iconic Bionic Mba of Rap Radio Africa. POTN is where African women in business, hip hop, and lifestyle culture tell the stories boldly and unapologetically. From north to south, east to West Africa, we celebrate women shaping culture and inspiring the next generation of tomorrow's women. Empowering, enlightening, informative, with a rich blend of hip hop music from first African women across the continent. Don't miss Queens of the Mic, 2 p.m. every Wednesday on Women Radio WFM 91.7, where hip hop meets business.
Are you looking for a place to advertise your business at affordable rates or a hall to host all your corporate events and conferences? Then don't look any further for all your advert placements, live interviews, announcements, religious programs, event bookings, and lots more. Give your business the boost and reach your target audience at an affordable rate here on Women Radio 91.7. What are you waiting for? Hurry now. Call the numbers 0905 555 8998, 0806 009 2137, or 0816 060 5673, or email us at sales@wfm917.
Are you a woman? Are you going through pains, hurts, and struggles? Do you want to find purpose in your pain? Why not join Epsiba every Wednesday at 5:40 p.m. on Women Radio 91.7?
The big question.
In fact, it crazy man. We never had a snake and whether swallow body.
Wow. Conversational, controversial, and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays from 12:05 p.m. only on Women Radio. Women Radio 91.7, breaking the culture of silence.
Good evening and welcome back. This is Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and families. And tonight we're still giving our advice to Grace. Grace is a 25-year-old lady. She says, at her place of work. All right. Hello, good evening. Okay, you're welcome back, David.
I'm thankful for everybody who has contributed after I spoke. I thank God for their life. Corruption index in this country, amidst the many nations, is so high. Our corruption index is terribly bad. It's like we can't seem to detach from corruption. It's not the way to wealth, and I think people should learn this. So I was trying to talk about the story of the church. Eventually, that driver in the church that I was mentioning to you was not sad. The pastor shut him down. The president really wanted the furtherance of everybody's life and destiny. So shut him down, corrected him and all that. He accepted. But the management also went to the church to prove very close for us to convey them You getting me? Because they now realize that the reason was overcrowding. If you complain about the chairs, you'll be complaining about the fact that it was overloading the seat. And so that you will feel, and he was a Muslim that was driving us to church. So he had to correct that. And after speaking to him, I moved forward and went straight to I didn't want to go to any other channel. I just went straight to the Arrowhead.
Yes.
And then from the secretary, the thing was taken up. And we were able to resolve that matter. I still driving and we're very good friends today. But one day inside the bus, when they got to know that I was the one that did that, and they stood up and he was saying, beside me and our daughter. And I said, no, I don't join the bus again because I am, by the grace of God, beyond that level now. That you like because it's already evangelization.
Yes.
The people will come, get that report, and they will claim when you get to that church, the driver will be Mama Conrad, they'll be doing one kind, and they felt uncomfortable. Visitors, newcomers, are you getting me? I say, are you not paying them? What is the church was his duty of paying and servicing the everything was about that side. And so like coming to church, they kept right from the church that was doing so much to better off. Are you getting me? That was the reason for my approach. Then I thank God. And what I found out was that my previous church where I was, the leader was but that not necessarily because you knew it and you kept quiet.
Yes.
He will discipline you because you had information. So you knew that and you haven't put the multitude to do it, but the Bible doesn't say that.
That's true.
You need to do all that because you never took a decision concerning the who was doing the and because this particular thing eventually came and punished him. Joseph was not because he needed to become. He never needed to have president. Because are you getting me now?
Yes.
The woman eventually and decided that how many of you had if they deny the people will not believe them and people are as well them. It's just not like that payback for a company. And I feel that should not be done. That's why I mentioned this issue. Look at our country today. Look at the mess we're in. It is because of this. So nearby now, people are collecting land. In 4 days, families go and watch somebody who commit adultery, incest, and the family will come because of sin or the parents to bring the having pregnancy with another person outside. Pregnancy with a woman outside, and you will be attentive to it, and you keep quiet, and you are taking friendship with that man. You can accept for that thing. So, just saying this by consent, I'm saying it because this is the right thing to do. This is the proper thing to do. We should the truth. The truth will overcome error. And I just think that it's very, 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 concerning knowing that a lot of people don't follow this route.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good night. That was David giving his advice once again to Grace. Grace, the ball is now in your court. You've heard every single thing that every single person has said this evening. What side are you falling on? Would you keep quiet about it? Or would you go ahead to say the truth? We've all given you our thoughts, our advice, and our contributions. The ball is now in your court to make the choice. that she wants. Grace is still listening. She would love to hear from you. She would love to hear your advice and also know what you think about the situation. The number to call to give Grace your advice is 07000 917 917. 917. You can also call 09155 917 917. 09155 917 to give your advice to Grace this evening. Hello, good evening.
Yes. I want to say something. There is also a wise way about going about the right thing. You can do the right thing the wrong way. We're all pursuing excellence. I would suggest that Grace does it in a very wise way, or do this in a very wise way. One of the things she can do, which I think is a strong style to this kind of matter, is that you just say that getting vision that can enforce, not just have mouth, but can enforce. Maybe the general manager or somebody who you know investigate before you take anything, because some people are difficult, conversations are difficult to help.
Yeah.
Find that investigation before you take this step. And when you go about immediately that management arrowhead, plant people on the plant people, don't just capture it on phone. Plant people on the road. On the day you intend to do your evidence. So if they enter the country, they down. The issues are there are someone, those people will show up to say, well, you carry those time at so time, and you come to you may, you know, if you do it very well, they will not even know you are the one that said it.
Yes.
Because you need to do yourself. You want the management to provide you. You volunteer information with wisdom. Be very discretional about this. Joseph was not discretionary because of his age. He was not so discretionary. The woman used the cloak fit from him as evidence.
Yes.
And Potiphar believed and spoke to Joseph. And Joseph ended in prison. Do you know he has interpreted the king's truth? Being a close officer to a high man, a high man in that position, that is a person of the level of the
prison. Yes.
He went in there because of his indiscretion about this matter. Are you getting me now? It was indiscretion that brought the Jews there, but God allowed all these things to happen, all these things. So I wanted to say, and I still want to say it now, that you should go about it in a very discretionary way. Or I think Grace is a female person. Should go about this in a discretionary way. Be wise, take your time, use your phone well to capture the details. Don't let them know that you are capturing them. And also get a functional influence who has enforcement power. Maybe the general manager who will not be talking by pressure. And if he doesn't agree with you, from that point detach, because you have already mentioned it in the vehicle and they will use it for certain. You mentioned it here, they said it's not their matter. You take the matter off. Because what you are doing is protecting that organization. You know that institutions are not strong in Nigeria. It is individuals that are strong.
Yes.
Are you getting me? So that's one of the weaknesses of that institution, that company where you are working. If we talk about WOT, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Yes. For that company, the SWOT, that is one of the weaknesses inside that organization. And you can be the strength now there. Thank you, Fini.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much for calling back to give your advice once again to Grace. I think you can also report it anonymously. If I think over here we have an anonymous form that we usually fill all the time. So if you have something like that at your place of work, you can do that as well, so you don't get suspected as well. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. You know, we have a lot of things. No worry, we are getting that now. About the parodic 15, 16, we are married. But then we are happy children, we are married. We need to stop all these things and not be enough for all these bad things. And if I already tell you, and then you look, I told you when it's done, I said you need to get your facts very well.
Yes.
You know, it's organization. You know, you study them a lot, and they didn't say something which I didn't like. When you remove that, the very spark inside the ball. If anything happen inside the ball, you're number one suspect. The power already come down, my little kitty. Now you calm down, don't do anything anymore. And you need to be very, very careful. I don't know whether you're clean or not. But my own is that if you don't eat out of the money they are collecting, or keep your mouth shut. And then now you need to do your investigation. If you get the part, you know what is in our office. You know, I'm not telling you to look at some people ask me, I know my mate, I know a lot of things that happen today, or whatever my food. Something happened 2 days ago, you see the guy calls them. You don't look at me very well. Oh my call a family show. Or you give a family show. The interview, I don't think you are me. Everything. You can be ready to I tell this organization to make it work, to make it go. But officials do things. Maybe I already said it all. The management, we need some that to love you. And love you. Most of the time they are working together, but they have the people that keep them really tough. I told you the silly things that happen to me in 7 of that time. They have a guy that they are working together. But thank you that when they do the investigation, they do everything. I don't have anything. But the only thing I'm not stepping up today, I will tell you is that you have the power to deal with it. They are using God to beg you. You see your life now. So they want to say that the God will use to beg you. Now that God will give them power to beg another day. You see my life. When I see this in Nigeria, but they pay me, the connection is okay. They come, this and that. Yes. So I'm telling you, when you say something, get your heart. The people that love you, that are living with you, that you know that this thing, they are ready to defend you. But for now, I don't know. Be very, very careful with anybody inside the office. When they stop, you say no, it's no. And when you get to your fans, that's fine. In Nigeria today now, people believe in corruption than anything. You know, I told you now. I'm going to be sure it's the end of corruption. Talk on me. My brother said something. Almighty God will give you some understanding. The work. If anything happens, it will affect all of you. And the reason you see some management, when you see that something like this happening, you go in there, but all of you together. But for me, how we judge you? Not only Jesus are not be to we are to hear someone. When I did because God will answer me. That's what they made me shoot me from the today. I'm on it day, I collect less about I collect everything. But that people too much. Thank you so much. No, in Nigeria, wake up, you know. Something come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunday. Thank you so much for calling back to give your advice once again to Grace. Let's try to reduce calling names of organizations when we're speaking or when we're sharing our advice as well. That was Grace's story. We've listened to every advice. We've listened to every contribution. Every advice is important and valid. Grace, you've heard everything that we've said. I'm hoping you'll make a good decision from every advice that you've gotten this evening. Because of our time, let's go to read some of the messages we have on our WhatsApp platform. This one says, blow the whistle. Handle it diplomatically by telling it to the HR department and tell them to re-strategize their own way to get the guy by themselves. Another one says, but it's wrong. Report them anonymously, Joe. The company has made life easy already. Why the instruction? All right. Another one says, that's great. They follow them calculate. For you to know the amounts they've made over the month, LOL. That shows how much you really paid attention to details. Smile. By the way, I would advise that you don't blow the whistle, my dear. Just stay your day in the bus and don't allow their so-called random passengers inconvenience you or distort your comfort while on transit. I hope you get me. Because your comfortability and convenience are part of the reason why the company provides the bus. But blowing the whistle may lead to other things. Come to think of it, driver in collaboration with assistant manager. No forget saying a social media manager you do. LOL. I come in peace. That's from Israel from Ido, Ibadan, Oyo State. Lastly, this one says it's a pity. This is exactly one of the reasons Nigeria is in the situation it is today. Corruption at all levels. For them to be doing it even when staffs are in the bus means it's not a secret to the top. My dear, use your tongue to count your teeth. Tread carefully. Oh. I would advise you face your own job. All right, those are some of the advice that we got this evening for Grace. We hope that Grace, you make a great decision for maybe advice. If you are not bold enough to confront them publicly, like Sunday said, you can do it anonymously. You don't need to come out openly. If you're not bold enough, if you're not strong enough to confront them, let everybody know that I'm the one involved because anything can happen. They can get fired. It can really turn messy. You don't know how bad things can really escalate sometimes. So if you know that you're not strong enough to withstand certain things, you can do it anonymously. And like David also said, if you can, look for someone trusted, a loyal person at your place, then you can collaborate with, talk to them about it. If they can, plant people on the road that would pick up and then stand as witnesses against them on some days. If you're bold enough, please go ahead. And just like every other person has said, it's for your own good to stay safe because people can be extreme these days. And I've seen people do really bad things because of money. You'll be surprised what people can do just because of 100,000 in this current economy. They can do anything. They don't care if it's someone's child or if it's someone's sister. They can do anything to get you out of the way just so you do not expose them. But just like everybody has said, stay safe as much as you can. Report this case as intelligently as you can. You don't need to go ahead and boast about it. Be wise. Be wise. Be wise about it. Whatever it is you decide to do at the end of the day, please be wise about it. That's a great story. A big thank you to every single person who called in this evening to give their advice and share their thoughts with Grace. A big thank you to Anthony Kingsley. Thank you, Sunday. Thank you, Anayo. Thank you, Madam Mary Monsella, Deaconess Lawal. Thank you, David. Thank you, Comrade Alade. And thank you to Tunde for calling this evening to be a part of the show. I think I skipped someone's name. Thank you so much for calling as well. It's always a great time to be here. Just in case you have a story for me, you want to share your story with the Adult Conversation family, you can do all to send your story to me on WhatsApp on 08155 917 917 08155 917 917. Till tomorrow, by the grace of God, 8 p.m. till 10 on Women Radio 91.7. My name is Faye Folua Akirani. Thank you so much for joining us on Women Radio 91.7. It's always a pleasure to serve you. Bye for now.
Wonder. After the ponder. Still the wonder. Why me? Then they try to penetrate. Then they try to relegate. Some they try to communicate. Don't try me. Some are dancing to my cosa. Some are feeling the afro. Some are moving calypso. Some are dancing to my own. Don't you try to understand.